When David heard of the death of Shaul and Jehonathan, he sang a lamentation for them. Ye daughters of Israel, weep over Shaul, who clothed you in scarlet delicately, who put ornaments of gold upon your apparel. How are the mighty fallen in the midst of the battle! Jehonathan is slain upon thy high places. I am distressed for thee, my brother Jehonathan. Very pleasant hast thou been to me. Thy love to me was wonderful, passing the love of women. How art the mighty fallen, and the weapons of war perished. Of the books called Shamuel, the 2nd, chapter 2. And it was after this that David enquired of Yahweh, saying, Shall I go up into any of the cities of Yehudah? And Yahweh said to him, Go up. And David said, Whither shall I go up? And he said, To Hebron. So David went up thither, and his 2 women also, Ahinoam the Jezreelite, and Abigail the woman of Nabal the Carmelite. And his men that were with him did David bring up, every man with his household, and they dwelt in the cities of Hebron. And the men of Yehudah came, and there they anointed David king over the house of Yehudah. And they told David, saying, The men of Yabesh Galaad were they that buried Shaul. And David sent messengers to the men of Yabesh Galaad, and said to them, Blessed be ye of Yahweh, that ye have shown this loyal ardor to your Lord, even to Shaul, and have buried him. And now Yahweh show loyal ardor and truth to you, and I also will requite you this good, because ye have done this thing. Now therefore let your hands be strong, and be ye valiant, for Shaul your Lord is dead, and also the house of Yehudah have anointed me king over them. Now Abner, the son of Ner, captain of Shaul's host, had taken Ishbosheth, the son of Shaul, and brought him over to Mahanaim. And he made him king over Galaad, and over the Ashuri, and over Jezreel, and over Ephraim, and over Benjamin, and over all Israel. Ishbosheth, Shaul's son, was 40 years old when he began to reign over Israel, and he reigned 2 years. But the house of Yehudah followed David. And the time that David was king in Hebron over the house of Yehudah was 7 years and 6 months. And Abner the son of Ner, and the servants of Ishbosheth the son of Shaul, went out from Mahanaim to Gabaon. And Joab the son of Zeruiah, and the servants of David went out, and met them by the pool of Gabaon, and they sat down, the one on the one side of the pool, and the other on the other side of the pool. And Abner said to Joab, Let the young men, I pray thee, arise and play before us. And Joab said, Let them arise. Then they arose and went over by number, 12 for Benjamin, and for Ishbosheth the son of Shaul, and 12 of the servants of David. And they caught every one his fellow by the head, and thrust his sword in his fellow's side, so they fell down together. For what reason that place was called Chelikatahath Urim, which is in Gabaon. And the battle was very sore that day, and Abner was beaten, and the men of Yisrael, before the servants of David. And the 3 sons of Zeruiah were there, Joab, and Abishai, and Asahel. And Asahel was light in his feet, like one of the gazelles in the field. And Asahel pursued after Abner, and in going he turned not to the right hand, nor to the left, from following Abner. Then Abner looked behind him and said, Is it thou, Asahel? And he answered, It is I. And Abner said to him, Turn thee aside to thy right hand or to thy left hand, and lay thee hold on one of the young men, and take thee his armor. But Asahel would not turn aside from following him. And Abner said again to Asahel, Turn thee aside from following me. For what reason should I smite thee to the ground? How then should I hold up my face to Joab thy brother? Howbeit he refused to turn aside, and Abner with the hinder end of the spear smote him in the body, so that the spear came out behind him, and he fell down there and died in the same place. And it was that as many as came to the place where Asahel fell down and died, stood there. But Joab and Abishai pursued after Abner, and the sun went down when they were come to the hill of Ammah, that lieth before Gaih, by the way of the wilderness of Gabaon. And the children of Benjamin gathered themselves together after Abner, and became one band, and stood on the top of a hill. Then Abner called to Joab, and said, Shall the sword devour forever? Knowest thou not that it will be bitterness in the latter end? How long shall it be then, before thou bid the people return from following their brothers? And Joab said, As the God liveth, if thou hadst not spoken, surely then in the morning the people had gone away, nor followed every one his brother. So Joab blew the sounding horn, and all the people stood still, and pursued after Yisrael no more, neither fought they any more. And Abner and his men went all that night through the Arabah, and they passed over the Jordan, and went through all Bethhoron, and came to Mahanaim. And Joab returned from following Abner, and when he had gathered all the people together, there lacked of David's servants 19 men, and Asahel. But the servants of David had smitten of Benjamin and of Abner's men, so that 360 men died. And they took up Asahel, and buried him in the sepulchre of his father, which was in Bethlehem. And Joab and his men went all night, and the day broke upon them at Hebron. Now there was long war between the house of Shaul and the house of David, and David became stronger and stronger, but the house of Shaul became weaker and weaker.